Hey everybody, welcome to the daily market commentary, if you will, for the 23rd of October. It's a Monday. I'm actually recording this just a few minutes before the market closes. We actually had a pretty nice pullback today inside the S&P, so I wanted to kind of get this out just before we met what could be a potential opportunity, a potential entry, and we had that set up kind of as a confirmation entry. So let's go ahead and zoom in on that right now. So the S&P is coming down into this area. This is set up as an area where we only want to get in if it comes into here and then pops back out. If it comes into here and then violates it, we're probably not going to want to take it on the pop back out. So we're kind of approaching into that range right now. If I go to a smaller time period, which is where I would look for my profit objective at first. So if indeed we do come into here, I'm going to be real quick to take some profits right there about that 25, 67, 50 area is really where I would look. I'm not in love with this in the speed at which it's coming down for a couple of reasons, not the least of which being that the Nasdaq level actually failed before coming back up. Now, I did not enter this Nasdaq level either. Reason being, go back to that smaller time period, and what you'll see is that it came into here and went through it before it really came out at all. There was just no love associated with it. So this one clearly is off of our radar going forward. But I like these kind of a pullback because these kinds of pullbacks are really just giving us a chance to to get in at better opportunities. These are dashed lines because they're lower probability opportunities anyway. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now we are coming into a slightly potential better opportunity on the Nasdaq down in here. This is where I think you've got your better shot at getting in, and that would be a nice little pullback into an area which, in the past, by the way, was kind of the top of that ascending triangle a little bit before that pretty nice breakout. That was a really nice move on the breakout from that ascending triangle as we are coming down here towards the close of the day today. Same thing in the S&P. As we are approaching this area. The thing I do like more about the S&P area than I do about the Nasdaq area is that it did serve as a little bit of a ceiling in the past, right? Old ceilings can become new floors. Old resistance can become new support. And that's kind of what we have happening right in here where we had that consolidation of price patterns. So this one might actually meet entry while we're in here. And we'll take a look and see. I'm actually going to throw an alert on here just in case it pops down into here. All right, so we got a little alert on there just in case it pops into there actually make it a bit lower. I'm going to want it to trade into the level with some depth before I would consider it. Let me make that more right in the middle. There we go. That's a little bit cleaner of a spot. So crude oil. So crude oil today, we have this area here where we came up and then it's bouncing. Hasn't really done a whole lot out of that area that we had identified a bit earlier. Talked about moving the stop down to break even. Was something we'd put out there a little bit earlier today on crude oil. Gold, however, I thought was going to fail. Hasn't failed me yet. Hashtag love my stops. So the stop has been moved up past this 1277.1 area. This ultimately, my first target somewhere up. We talked about 1288, I think, yesterday. As the first profit objective before this area in here. So let's see if that continues to hold true. So this is I really felt like it was going to fail. In fact, I put that out on a tweet earlier today that I thought that gold level was going to fail. Didn't fail yet. Love my stops, but I love them better when they don't get hit. So we are moving along okay here in the gold area. So gold, crude oil, both of them still kind of working out. Crude oil not as much as gold, and then gold certainly didn't quite go beneath the level to get us on that level. So this Crude oil level, we talked about the tweet we sent out earlier today, talked about moving your stop to, should have hit target 1 in the overnight hour, stop move to break even, so you're probably out of the position by now. I know I am. So there's really, not a whole lot for me to take down to here. I still like this area here on a little bit of a retest. I'm going to remove, by the way, this area because this is no longer going to be a valid level for me in the future. And if I want to look for anything, I got to look a bit higher. I don't see that happening today. So let's go ahead and take a look at our bond markets. Looking at our bonds, we are seeing a bit of a rally in bonds today. No surprise there, as the markets are failing and we're getting a little bit of a rally in bonds, but still nothing up here that I'm really jumping up and down about. If you're a very small time frame opportunist, there's going to be something right in here for you. I'm not in love with it. There's a number of reasons why I'm not in love with it. Not the least of which being it was 9 o'clock at night. When it was created. So, but it is there if you indeed are interested. The euro today had a nice little short opportunity. I was actually speaking to a trading buddy of mine, and he and I were talking about catching a short little opportunity in the euro off of a 5-minute chart, and it worked for a real quick move down, and then it came right back and bit you in the bullets. So it was off this little level here, worked out today for a nice quick little entry in the euro, down here 1178 as really the target on that, which would be right here. So it was a nice little quick move down for a short time frame trader, and then it would have, if you try to hold on longer, you get bit in the bullets. So don't get bit too hard. And so really today's been one of those days where it's full of sound and fury signifying nothing, as we haven't done a whole lot in the euro. Still looking on some deeper breakdowns. Interesting, though, are all these lower wicks on the daily chart. So those lower wicks on the daily chart tells me that there is some interest in buying, right? That's keeping it kind of elevated and keeping it higher. Canadian dollar, breakout potential again, I think, on the Canadian dollar. Is setting up, and the Canadian in my mind has really just been a breakout play on the daily chart. I think this is really ultimately where we're going, is to 7-8. So I think there's room to get in. You've got to be willing, though, to trade some of these breakouts and breakdowns on the Canadian. If you do want to try to get in on some sort of a pullback up, I would be okay just getting short below 79.01. Just wait for the breakdown out of here, and then hold on for some sort of a little bit of a ride. On our Nat Gas, Great British Pound, silver, and copper. Nat Gas has not come anywhere near the level. We had that move up. We did the review last night after this big move up, and has not come down into our level that we had identified. The Great British Pound, still waiting on price to get into here, not doing anything. I will tell you, a lot of people would look at this as a price pattern and call this an inverted head and shoulders, and they'd look to be buying on a breakout above here. I'm not going to be as comfortable being a buyer, but interestingly enough, if indeed you do believe in that inverse head and shoulders theory, right? So you measure from the head to the top of the neck, and there's a lot of people that do. That takes you right smack. If you take the measured move rule, that takes you right smack to the area where we do believe that there's some sell orders. So if you now, I don't always, that's certainly in no way the gospel truth, but there's enough people that use it that I do want to lead it a little bit of credence. This area right here is an area where I'd only get in if it starts to show me that the weakness. This is, I call this a Missouri area, right? You got to show me. It's the show me state, and it's not as good of a level. Silver futures. So looking at silver, I may change silver out for something else. I don't trade silver. I kind of added this one on because somebody had asked me about it. In the silver markets, this is really the only thing that I see way up here, fairly far away from current price. You'd really want to take this whole area up in here, but this little box down here represents where you may get a very small time frame hiccup reversal right through there. And then same thing in copper. Don't trade copper very often. I kind of added this one on. So if you guys got something that you'd like me to look at every day in place of silver and copper, please let me know. It'd be great to have more ideas. So, coming close to our level in the S&P, that's really the one that I'm waiting on at the moment, as I thought we might make a run at it here at the end of the day. We were not able to make a run at it at the end of the day, as the markets are here about to close in 10 seconds. So thanks so much, everybody. If you like the channel, please do me a favor. Give me a like, give me a share, give me a tweet, give me a mention, give me whatever you want. So thanks so much, and if you need me, feel free to reach out. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. See ya.